vegan life. Where's your mugs, guys? You should be holding up your mugs and go vegan.
Go vegan.
This is, forget all the previous ones that we did. I'm starting again from the beginning. This, I'll do it in the voice. This is the Vegan Hour with Harry Bowman, and we're alive. Okay. It works. Yes, it does work. Thank you, Saba. It definitely works. Okay, I'm going to... I've been through all this before, so there's Wade, there's Jazz. Good night.
I'm Jazz, and this is Wade, actually.
Okay, I'm trying to do it like, it's really hard to... Okay, right. I've got Wade from the Vegan Business Network. I've got Jazz from Enlightened Justice joining us tonight. And good evening, Michelle. Thank you for joining us. Going to go through the 4 events that are happening tomorrow night. We have the Vegan Business Network. What do you call the event again?
The title was Consistency and Commitment in Business and Beyond.
Okay, that is at Mandela's, 6 p.m. tomorrow night. Lee Chantel will be giving a talk on what Wade just said.
And the bookings are essential.
Bookings are essential.
So call up Mandela and say that you're going there for the Vegan Business Network event.
It'll be 6 p.m. tomorrow night. It's also an all-you-can-eat pizza night for $20. So you can come along, you can listen to Lee Chantel talk about vegan business.
Yeah, consistency
in business when it comes to being vegan and being a vegan business. And that is part of why I have Wade and Jazz here tonight, because this is all to do with the Vegan Business Network, which we'll be talking more about in a little while. In a little while. Thank you, Colleen, for joining us. Okay, Saturday, Farm Animal Rescue has a bake sale at Charlie's Raw Squeeze in Everton Park, Brisbane, from 10 a.m. Be there or be somewhere else. But please support the Farm Animal Rescue. They do fantastic work. They're up at Dayborough. If you haven't been there, please go along. Somebody's giving lots of hearts there. A lot of hearts. So if you haven't been there, please please go along and see the wonderful work that they do up there at Dayborough. Also on Saturday, Young Gold Coast Vegans is having a potluck in the park at Cascade Gardens at 11 a.m. Bring along a vegan plate of food to share, and we'll see you there as well, because I can be in many places at once apparently. And Sunday is the Yoga Day Festival, which I believe is worldwide, but at Burleigh here on the Gold Coast, it'll be starting at 10:30 a.m. at Justin's Park. So I hope you caught that all, because I'm not going to say it again, because that's about the 50th time I've said it tonight, because we had some technical issues, so don't know why, but we did. Okay, on with the show. Now, tonight I am giving away, or I'm announcing the winner. I'm announcing the winner of the Greenhouse Canteen Dinner for Two. And hello, Zoe, for joining us again for the 400th time. I'm glad my guests actually have taken this so well, because I'm sweating bricks here that this has not worked. And I'm like, and you guys are laughing and thinking it's great, which is fantastic. Thank you, guys. I like that's actually made me a bit more relaxed.
Well, that's what we do. We're here to look pretty.
Well, you're doing a better job of it than I am, that's for sure. Okay. So, seeing as we haven't got any questions yet, and I'm just looking to see if nobody's asking any questions yet. So, oh no, we do have. Do I have to share all the previous videos as well? That's
No.
good, Sal. But no, you don't have to. And Colleen says, "Don't worry, be happy." Thank you. Thank you, Colleen. A good friend of mine actually said to me last week when we were having dinner, said about talking about gratitude, and that came up as a theme. So gratitude is something that I've been thinking about a lot lately. You know, just to be really grateful for all the things we have in our lives to be grateful for, especially here in Australia with the relative prosperity we have and the nice lifestyle and all the vegan establishments that we can eat at, and etc. 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 So, okay, Greenhouse Canteen Dinner for Two to the value of $60. This has gone to a vegan naturopath in Brisbane. So no, I'm sorry, it's not who, when I said vegan naturopath, I bet you thought it was you, Colleen. No, it's actually gone to Sarah Farley. So I don't know if she's watching, but Sarah, you have won a dinner for two at my favourite 100% vegan restaurant at Miami on the Gold Coast to the value of $60. I'll be in touch to tell you how you claim that. So congratulations, Sarah. I'm sure you'll love it. I don't know if you've been there before or not. Perhaps you can let us know if you are watching. So we will be starting a new competition tonight as well. So there is another dinner to be given away somewhere else. So Colleen says, boo. Yes, Colleen, you missed out on that one, but there's a new competition starting tonight. Ethan has joined us and Millet has joined us as well. Thank you guys for joining us. We have 14 people watching at the moment. That's nice. I'll raise my cup to that. Okay, so seeing as we've got nobody actually asking any questions, what I want to do is, Colleen knows. Oh, right, Colleen knows, says it. Right, I'll meet you there. Okay, there you go. That worked out well. Ethan asks, who's my daddy? Good on you, Ethan. That's, yeah, you're the man, eh? Yeah. Who loves you, baby? That'll be the next one.
I thought this was supposed to be a PG rating.
Yeah, it is. It was everything. Every word I used then was PG rated. Okay, so have we got enough light on your face there? Maybe do you want to tilt that a little bit so it's in your eyes?
So it's in your eyes.
Yeah, so tilt the head. Yeah. No, that way. Just the whole head. That's it. Is it in your eyes? Jeez, I just looked at it too. Oh wow.
Okay. You tilt it up. So
yeah, tilt it up. We want to be able to see you a bit. You keep going the right. No, not.
Yeah, that's it.
That way.
That works. Yeah. That reflects off the wall.
Yeah, that's much better.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Brilliant. See, we've got somebody that knows what they're doing here. Wow. Okay. Thank you for that. Right, we've got reflected light, which is better than direct light.
That's
that's
better,
good.
Isn't it?
Okay, Isabel has joined as well. Nice of you to have us here. Nice of you to join us, Isabel. Sorry, I'm just so mussed up with all the technical difficulties we started off with tonight. So, and Maddie's joined us. Thank you for joining us, Maddie. Okay, so we've given away the competition to the greenhouse. So while we're on that subject, starting this week and running for the next 2 weeks is a competition to win $50 worth of food or food voucher from Mandela Organic Arts. So you can go and you can have pizza, you can have tacos, you can have waffles, you can have tofu scramble, whatever you like there, to the value of $50. So that's a competition starting tonight for Mandela's. If you haven't been there, get along there. They're open every night of the week except Monday nights from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. And they're also open Friday, Saturday and Sunday from 10 a.m. So
yeah, go there for the breakfast.
Go there for the go there for what do you prefer? Do you like the tofu scramble or the waffles, or what do you?
It's all good.
It's all good.
I don't know.
What
there
we
you go.
get,
It's all good.
The vegan Benny.
Maddie says the enchilada.
We get
I didn't even know they had an enchilada.
The vegan Benny.
I'm talking Mandela's, not greenhouse at the moment. Sorry.
We get vegan Benny. We get the vegan omelette, and you get the kid-size waffles because it's almost as big as the normal size, and it's cheaper.
The omelette, that's the tofu scrambled omelette, right?
Yeah.
And the kid-size waffles.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. There's today's top tip. When you go to Mandela's, get the kid-size waffles. And my mate Adam's on. Hey, Adam, rocking it. Any thoughts on an awesome vegan smoothie to start the day, guys? Well, what do you have preference on a?
Oh,
I usually just have bananas and.
That's always a good base.
He doesn't know.
Okay. Now, Jazz, you'd have something more interesting,
Yeah,
wouldn't
I like to put bananas, green powder, maca powder, cacao, some type of berry, and some type of kombucha or something in there.
Now,
a bit of water.
Because Jazz is a little bit further behind, can you hear her all right, guys? Just let me know. Could you hear that, Adam, what she said? Because if not, I'll get her to repeat it 7 times. Increasing loudness each time. So, I've gone from having. I never had personally. I don't usually have much smoothies, but Saba can hear. Okay, thoughts on cardamom pod? Well,
funny you should mention that.
The thoughts that I can say in public, or the ones that I can't.
What specifically? Give that's
specifically?
some
Ethan asked asked the thoughts on cardamom pod and Saba. Anyway,
Are we talking brickwork?
yeah, Ethan, can expand on that. I haven't done, as you know, I've here's where I'm at with this at the moment. Apparently, the Brickworks is still wearing T-shirts that say 100% plant powered.
Well, they were yesterday.
They were yesterday. That's what I personally have an issue with, because that to me is false advertising. 100% means 100%. There's just no, if you have to put a disclaimer with it, it's not 100%. I personally have an issue with any business, and this is not, I'm not picking on any particular business, I'm not picking on the carbon pod, I'm not picking on vegan business necessarily. I have an issue with any business that's not ethical in their advertising and the way they're promoting themselves. And to say you're 100% when you're not, that gets my goat. And that's what I have. So don't say it when you're not. It's that simple. That's why I asked Carbon Pod to ditch the dairy, guys. Either ditch the dairy to match what you're saying, or stop saying you're 100%. Either way, you're creating a lot of confusion, and it's not helping the message. So,
it's not only confusion; it's actually misleading and deceptive conduct. And
Jasmine is a lawyer, so she knows about this stuff.
So really, what we should do is we should all report them to the Fair Trading, the Office of Fair Trading, for false advertising, misrepresentation, and deceptive conduct.
There you go, guys. I said that without moving my lips. So now, thanks for joining us, Emma. And Ethan. Ethan's just expressed his opinions, and his opinions were a four-letter word starting with S. So I guess we can.
I agree with you, Isabella. Isabel.
Yeah, it's annoying they have amazing food, so they should stop using dairy. Exactly. This is why I've written posts, I've done videos, I've asked people to come on board and help in a positive way to convince them to ditch the dairy.
Especially with the Brickworks one, they're like 99%.
They're 99% of the way there. Yes, and as Maddie says, I don't get why they have to have dairy for the coffees.
They don't.
They don't, no.
100%. Why do they need to have dairy?
I'll go back to what I said in my video, that Govinda's Surface successfully went 100% vegan about 2 years ago, and they're busy. You go in there, I mean, you stand in a line to get the food there.
And they've improved their menu. They've gone from strength to strength.
They have. Their food is fantastic there. You've got Authentic, has just gone 100% vegan. What was the other one I mentioned in my video that went 100% vegan? Charlie's Raw Squeeze as well, another one. So Isabel asks, do I prefer to be called Harry or Glarry? I think I've got so many personalities who know. I'll drink herbal tea to that.
Well, I vote for Glarry.
Glarry sounds good.
Next week's side competition is, what should my online name be? So okay. Now that we're up and running and we can actually, I'm sorry if I look off to the side, guys. It means I'm just checking how it's looking on the computer there. It does come up a few times saying connection is weak. I realise it's saying that. That will mean the picture will be a little bit pixelated, but the sound will still be pretty good. So
I can't read the questions on the phone. So
Easy House mentioned all of Vegan Life was there recently. We had 21 people at Easy House on Saturday for a Vegan Life lunch. Our record there is 48, so we weren't up to our record, but it was comfortable, it was nice, it was very enjoyable. Joshua asks, who will I be voting for in the federal election? I'll be voting for the Animal Justice Party, which is in column H on the above the line in the Senate. I think it is. Column H, eighth column from the left. How do I know that? Because I have inside information. That's how I know that. Maybe I shouldn't have said that publicly.
No, that's all right. We'll just take it back to general voting. You've got to do 6 above or 12 below or something, isn't it? Selection? That's all I know.
Numbered 1 to 6 above. And so, I'll be voting for the Animal Justice Party. Search that. I don't have all the answers, but you can certainly search them out on Facebook and or on the interweb and get their information. Change your name to Captain Vegan and fight animal injustice, Saba says. Thank you, Saba. I'm liking it.
Captain Vegan.
Captain Vegan.
Captain Vegan.
Yeah,
Fighting
no.
animal injustice. Maddie Hall says epic, and Maddie also says they said they had no room for walk-ins. Oh, okay, that's you're talking about talking about Easy House and the lunch we had on Saturday. We're switching between conversations here. Yes, they were pretty full on Saturday. We occupied all outside, and inside was pretty full. So, and I mean, Easy House does fantastic, affordable, consistent food, very yummy. They do the only yum cha. What was it? Yes.
The little hearts.
The little hearts. It's cool, isn't it? Because as we're doing this live stream, we're watching the little likes and hearts and everything that drift across the screen on the phone as we're doing it. So it's pretty cool. We've got 17 people that we've kept awake at the moment. So this is the new insomnia channel. Or something.
It's a bit too early for that,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Oh, I thought it was past my bedtime.
We have to put the later
So,
edition up. That goes
so
till 1 a.m.
for those who may have come in late, I'm just going to say we started a new competition tonight for mandalas. That'll run for the next couple of weeks, similar to the one that we ran for Greenhouse. I don't even know what you're laughing at back there, but yeah. So in a couple of weeks' time, we'll be giving away $50 dinner or lunch or brunch at Mandalas. And once again, congratulations to Sarah for winning the Greenhouse Canteen dinner for two to the value of $60. Yes! We'll be in touch and let you know how
If
you
they still have the
get that.
meatball sub, you got to get that.
Yes,
At Greenhouse.
I've yet to try the. It's
very
called
good.
Veg Ball Sub, not
Well,
meatball. It's
they
called Veg
told me
Ball.
it was meatball.
They renamed it.
Vegetable.
Yeah, they
It's
renamed
very
it.
good.
Yeah, that's
Anyway,
really nice.
Right.
Have
So
you tried the seafood basket there?
I have. I'm not a fan of the
No,
seafood.
we don't like it either.
I'm not as
No.
fan of
It's
the
too
seafood ones.
seafoody.
I never was into seafood. It's too realistically seafoody, smelly in that.
And the
Yeah.
It's
taste.
clever how they've done it with mushrooms and
Yeah.
tofu and that. Yes, but I mean, if you're a vegan who used to like seafood and you go to Greenhouse and you want something that reminds you of that, the seafood basket will definitely fit the bill because it's very realistic.
Yeah.
Too realistic.
Yeah, that's our
So-
problem.
Yeah,
I think
we can't
maybe
have it.
try it, but
Yeah.
we had it once and we were like, whoa,
Mm.
this is too much for us.
The top tip when you're eating at Greenhouse is pulled jackfruit enchilada or the veg ball sub, which I've yet to try. Okay, what are the meat or veg balls made out of? Saba asks. Well, there's-
I think
what?
they're made out of carrot pulp and some other stuff because they're pretty
wow,
big.
wow.
And to me, when we were eating it, it seems like it's the pulp from a juice plus some other stuff.
And you're good at telling ingredients,
Ingredients.
yes. But in a general, you see Joshua's question.
What is it?
I run a diesel car. Is that acceptable? Okay. If that's and hello Brooke, thanks for joining us. If that's a serious question, Joshua, and why do I get the feeling it's not?
Is it fair trade?
Isn't
I don't
diesel
know.
better for the environment because it lasts longer for the combustion compared to petrol? I don't know.
I wouldn't have the knowledge to be honest.
diesel outputs pretty bad noxious fumes as well.
Mm.
So
But I mean, you get more burns
it-
compared to.
better economy, you mean?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. In theory, yes. Most of the time, you do.
The interesting thing is, this is what I learned when I was doing industrial design, was when the hybrids came out,
Yeah.
they were actually less environmentally friendly than a Hummer
How is that possible?
because of all the embodied emissions when they extract the minerals and then
Okay, so
create the car.
in the whole life of cycle
the
of the
life
car.
cycle of
Yeah.
the product
Yes.
that's gone into
Manufacturing.
Yes.
creating it, and
Yes.
then also disposing of it.
Yes.
So that is a good point.
Yes.
Mm.
We
You've got a
should be
good point on top of your
mindful
head.
Of,
Yes.
Of
So-
the manufacturing of our products as well as how we're using them.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. That's a good point. The whole thing with animal rights, which includes human rights, which includes environmental rights, it's the rights of all living beings, which includes the earth, and being vegan, which is respect for all life and doing the least amount of harm possible, is to include. I mean, Joshua asked, "Is I run a diesel car. Is it acceptable?" That can be a serious question. I don't know if he's asking that as a serious question or if that's a
It is
wind up,
serious question.
but it can be a serious question because we are trying to make life, respect all life. We're trying not to kill things. We're trying to make things, we're trying to be respectful to the environment. Minimal impact, yeah. So Hannah has joined us. Thank you, Hannah, for joining us. Now, what I want to do, because I'm looking at the time there, we're probably going to stream for about another half an hour. So I want to get into talking to Wade a bit, because we haven't got too many questions coming up at the moment, which is good, about the about the vegan business network. So let's go back to the beginning. Do you want to tell me how you came up with this idea, for starters, or what, like, a little bit of the foundation there, and just talk up a bit, just in case you're a little bit quiet from there.
So I was looking at starting my own sort of business, and because I was vegan, I wanted to connect with other people, or other businesses. But the thing was that a lot of the business networking was either at alcohol-driven places like RSLs or stuff like that, or at steakhouses. And there's nothing that had health food or anything. Like, I didn't want to be going and just eating hot chips or a salad, which is still what the option is at a lot of places.
You couldn't even get a juice or smoothie at those networks.
Well, that's it.
Okay, so you wanted to connect businesses.
Network is business.
Network as vegan businesses, but do it in a way that was encompassing the whole framework of veganism. So we're not going to do an RSL to do it. We're going to
when I initially started, I was just starting my own business. I just wanted to network with anybody. It wasn't sort of specifically for vegans.
Okay.
But I just wanted to create something that was friendly for vegans to go to and for other businesses to come along. And now that vision has grown bigger, and I want to have something that's a lot more vegan driven, and something that is a really neutral and actually really friendly space for other businesses that are interested in veganism to come along to. So,
and it is friendly, definitely friendly. In fact, it gets too much fun. I've had to stop going to some of the meetings because I was enjoying myself too much. And at this point in my life, the last thing I want to do is start enjoying myself. Okay, Adam says, I'm just going to go back. Hannah says, hi, guys. So, hey Hannah. Adam says he's vegan. Excellent, Adam. Let me ask you, how long you been vegan? Tell us, come back to us with that. He's now told us 3 times that he's vegan, so I think he's vegan. Or at least he thinks he's vegan. Lorna has joined us. Thank you for joining us, Lorna. Okay, so how long's the Vegan Business Network been up and running now?
Well, the idea started probably about a year ago, and now it's sort of I've been working on it full time since about January this year.
Okay. Just back to the questions. Joshua was saying that a friend at school is required to wear leather shoes for uniform. And that actually happens not just at school, that also happens in workplaces and stuff like that. That's right. You can...
get vegan ones.
Yes, you can get vegan ones. You can get what I'd call inadvertent vegan ones by actually sometimes... although it's not necessarily a full vegan shoe, you might be able to go to Kmart or something like that and get a boot that is completely synthetic, and possibly the glue in it. We don't know. Maybe the glue in it is still animal sourced. If you want to,
you can.
Hey,
you just got to do the best you can.
Yeah. In the past, because I was required to personally wear leather shoes in a workplace, I actually sourced leather shoes from a place in Victoria, vegan shoes, from a place in Victoria, so I could wear them as a work boot. So I don't remember the name of the place, but certainly you can do a search. If it's just going to be a school shoe that's non-leather, I would think you could probably get something from a department store or something like that, or a shoe that was synthetic. And then it's just a question of whether it really is fully animal product free.
There are a lot of online vegan shoes.
There are. In fact, if Colleen is still watching, she has a sticker on her car with the name of a vegan shoe place that I've never heard of before. If you are still watching, can you tell us the name of that place? Because it's a single word and I can't remember what it is.
There is also another online retailer called Shoes of Prey. You can design your own shoes and you can choose vegan leather, vegan
Wow.
everything.
There you go.
I was looking at them for my wedding. In the end, I decided not to get them because I found some other shoes just at the shop, but it's just called Shoes of Prey. It's mainly women's shoes, but you can design your own shoes.
Now, I get the impression... That's good. Is that in Australia?
It's just online, yeah.
Yeah,
Just
okay.
shoesofprey.com,
Okay,
and you just choose the vegan options.
I get the impression that Adam, after telling us he's been vegan 3 times and answers that he's been vegan for an hour, I get the impression that maybe Adam's slightly not serious. So I'm not going anywhere further with that one. Okay, so the Vegan Business Network now, it's up and running.
Yep.
You have the vision, it's up and running. And one of the things I really admire about you is that you have these visions and the ones that are actually... I was going to make a joke about... I won't go there. Okay, I'll go to stay serious. You have these visions like, oh, I'm seeing things. No. But it's up and running. So now you've had, what, three functions so far, I think. Is that right? I have a little thing flying around here.
It's 4 now.
4, okay.
Yeah.
Including tomorrow night's one? Or no? Okay. So tomorrow night will be the 5th one.
Yeah, it's 4. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
tomorrow night's the 5th one. Okay.
Yeah.
So, and in case you missed it earlier, tomorrow night, 6 p.m, Mandelas for the Vegan Business Network function with Lee Chantel doing a talk. So, and it is rumoured that Lee Chantel will be on the show next week. It's only rumoured because it's correct. So, and then you can find out all about her then. So, what is the goal of the Vegan Business Network? What are you trying to achieve?
A vegan world.
I like
Obviously.
it. Vegan world domination.
That's
it,
that's
yeah.
obviously the
Yeah.
ultimate goal.
But your angle, what I see, that's the ultimate goal, right?
Yeah.
But and a lot of people want to do that, and
Yeah.
people have different angles, and you've come at it from an angle that is fresh in my mind.
Yeah.
So sort of expand on that a bit.
Well, I think that the 2 main issues are with the cost and the convenience of vegan products. Obviously targeting food a lot more than other products because we eat generally 3 times a day. So
Well, you might. I eat about 17 times a day.
That's what I was going to say. At least
generally,
3 times.
you know,
At
some
least,
people
yeah.
only eat 1 meal a day.
Yeah.
I don't know how they do it. But,
Yeah.
But the thing is, some people say like the cost of eating vegan is a lot cheaper. It actually is, but when you're eating out somewhere, like you end up paying more for some chips because that's the only vegan option than somebody would pay for meat in a lot of places. Like I mean, like you've only got.
See,
to
I
look
wouldn't
at the
know.
pubs.
I wouldn't know.
You've only got to look at the signs of the pubs where they have like $3 schnitzel nights or like
Oh,
$10
okay.
like
Right. Okay.
$5
Yeah.
steak.
yeah like steak
Right.
and a burger for
I see.
like
Okay.
no
Right.
steak and like
Right.
a beer for like $10 and like there you probably pay like $8 for chips
Or you try to buy
Okay.
salad.
or
and it's
salad and it's
Okay.
even vegan.
Okay. So your aim in that regard is to try and make vegan food options more affordable,
More
Yeah,
available.
more available.
More affordable and
Yeah.
just everywhere like
More
Yeah.
available.
I want it to just be that it's just commonplace.
Okay. So what you're saying is that mainstream restaurants and that will have vegan options. That's what you want to do.
Yes.
And one of the ways that you want to do this is you want to standardise how it appears on menus. Is that right? I think.
Yeah.
So how do you go about that?
Well, ultimately, like this is where all the other dietary requirements come in, like gluten-free, dairy-free, all that. There needs to be a standardization of the code. So, like a V for vegan,
Yeah.
and then VEG or a VG for vegetarian,
Yeah.
DEF for dairy-free, like GF
Now,
for gluten-free.
This is a good point because this actually ties in. Hannah, I just noticed your comment that she agrees that she eats only 18 times a day. Good on you, Hannah. That's good. That's and Natalie has joined us. Thanks for joining us, Natalie. This ties in, standardising, right? This ties in with what we were talking about earlier about Cardamom Pod. Their message is not clear.
Mixed
Yeah,
message.
Mixed message.
Yeah.
Thank you. Their message is not clear. So
just correct labeling of things.
correct
really,
labeling.
that's
This is right.
so important.
And
And-
transparency.
And
Yeah.
transparency. Nothing. These
Transparency of menu. So many times I read a menu and it says, okay, it's got, I don't know, chickpeas, tomatoes, lettuce, and carrots in it.
Yeah.
They bring it out and it's drowned in mayonnaise, or it's got some cheese,
Or it's used egg
or
as
it's
a
got
binder
egg
for
on it
something.
somewhere.
There's a vegetarian place on the Gold Coast that is well known for, on their menu, actually listing items with a V for vegan, not V for vegetarian, V for vegan,
Yep.
and then having honey in it. And I think one of them had yogurt in it as well. Yeah, you know the place I'm talking about?
Yes.
Yes, yeah.
Yes.
So again, this is basically they're setting their own rules, aren't they? It's governed by themselves, So
Well, this is the issue.
now, how would you enforce that then? How would you enforce a standardisation of symbols and stuff like that? How would you make that happen?
Veganism, it needs to be actually respected as a dietary requirement. People think that vegans just choose to be vegan and we can eat non-vegan and we'll be all right if it's just one meal here and there. It's actually not the case. When you are vegan, if you try to eat non-vegan, me for example, I get violently ill. I get very, very sick. So when I first went vegan, it was for health. But even if you go vegan for ethics, you will still get sick eating non-vegan. So it needs to be respected and recognised as an actual dietary requirement, the same as nut allergies, the same as lactose intolerance, things like that. So what we need to do is we need to lobby the government to create recognition and standardised codes and regulations that restaurants and places have to follow. Because, I can even go into a restaurant and say, look, I have allergies, I needed to change that menu. I've had a restaurant tell me, no, that's my chef's intellectual property, we're not changing it.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I've had to choose to not eat because the chef wouldn't remove some dairy out of their
Wow.
menu.
This is why part of the focus of vegan is that, because we go to a lot of places, Jazz likes to modify the menus.
Because we travel a lot.
If I see stuff that, like, if I don't see anything on there that has, like, basically vegan ingredients, I'm like, oh, no, they can't do it. Jazz goes in and modifies it.
What I do is I scan the menu and I go, well, they've got that, and that. Here's what you can make for me.
Okay.
But sometimes, even when you read the menu, it's not counting that they've used butter in the cooking process.
Yes.
So there's egg white to bind something.
Or they've used eggs to bind something.
Yes.
And there's so many vegans, even
Or
in the health side of, like, the fitness industry, that are really, like, they read things specifically and they're like, okay, and I want it cooked in, like, less oil. And then it comes out with, like, egg as a binder. It's not even listed in the ingredients.
Hence why I like 100% vegan places. Always comes back to that for me. Just interrupt you there for a second. Adam has said you need a vegan drive-through. I have actually thought about that, and that'll happen. I don't know where, but that'll happen. Actually,
probably is one in America.
It started in the States. I read about it probably 3 weeks ago. Can't think of the name of the chain. It's like a fast food vegan chain that's starting to appear in the States. They have a drive-through. They had their first drive-through. It opened only in the last month or two. I'd have to try and find. But anyway, yes, it started there. It'll be here. Joshua says, are vegans against blood transfusions? You got it. Hey, Jazz, Andrea says, wow, she is hot.
Nice.
She's a keeper. We'll get her back. Veggie Bar. Is that the name of it, Hannah? Veggie Bar. Is that the one in America? No, Amy's Drive-Thru. Thank you, Brooke. Brooke's paying attention. Amy's Drive-Thru. That's the one in America.
I haven't heard of that one.
You haven't heard of that one?
No.
You don't get out much. Sorry.
We're going to go back to the blood transfusion.
Blood transfusions, okay.
Veggie
Grill.
I'm not against blood transfusions because they're there to save people's lives.
Yes. We're not Jehovah's Witnesses.
And it's a personal choice. I think everybody should have the choice.
Yes.
That's what this is.
Well,
you got
really generally giving the blood is actually consent.
I think a lot of the confusion comes in is that people don't understand the meaning of the word vegan and what it's standing for. It's very simply the non-use of animals in any form. No exploitation, no use of animals in any form. How blood transfusion would tie into that, as far as I can see, there's not an animal use in that.
Unless you're getting blood transferred from a pig or something. But
that's a different thing.
Viable anyway.
So,
so maybe heart transplants from animals and things we would be against.
That would be a different
blood
thing.
Transfusion is human blood.
Yes, yeah. So let's not confuse the issues, because because the word vegan just gets lost in translation and people just come up with their different interpretations. But it's all about respecting all life by not using it, not exploiting it, not abusing it. So, and also the other thing, and we were talking about this over dinner, is that animal rights encompasses human rights and environmental rights, and it encompasses the whole thing. So it's it's not just this is something that comes up. Veggie grill. I mean, we've got a conversation going between Adam and Hannah on that. That's fine. You guys just you start your own thing over on the side there, and we'll just keep going here. Unfortunately, I see. Okay, let's go back a step. It's wonderful that there's different approaches used by different people to promote veganism because of their own things that appeal to them. So they have different perspectives. That's wonderful. What is disappointing is when it starts to get into a bit of infighting and people saying, oh no, you shouldn't promote it this way, you should do it that way, and you shouldn't talk about health, you should talk about, the animal rights and things like that. Yeah. That's disappointing. That's human nature. Sorry guys, but that's whenever you put more than two people together, that's what happens. That's human nature. I mean, any workplace, am I right? Any workplace that you work in, this is what happens. You get more than a couple of people working together, you start getting infighting and disagreements. Any family, any group, any scout den, anything, card playing group or anything. This is just human nature, and it happens also with people that have the right intention, that want to do the right thing by the animals, but again, one person thinks their way is the right way, and somebody else thinks theirs is the right way.
I actually don't think it's human nature. I think it's animal nature. It's our animal instincts to fight and thrive that come out in these modern situations with humans, because we are just animals after all.
Yes.
I think it's the animal instinct that comes out in that kind of situation. Because back in the when we were back in the caveman days, we would have had to fight and vie against each other for position, for shelter, for food.
Yes.
So now in the modern sense, we're just fighting over different things. So it's the animal.
Yep, the animal instinct
coming out.
Yeah.
I think it's animal.
Yep.
A lot of it too, I think, is the way we're brought up in society.
Yes. Yes. It's a real
brought up in a
competitive way.
Civilization that actually has more
well,
harmony.
Yes. Well, as Brooke just said, veganism doesn't leave out compassion for humans.
That's right.
And so that's well timed and well said there, Brooke. And Adam's talking about veggie grill. Now we've mentioned, well, there's Amy's drive-through or something that was mentioned earlier as the one in America, but Adam's talking about veggiegrill.com. Is that actually? I'm going to type that in because I want to see what this veggie grill is. Adam, can you tell me? Is that an existing vegan place, is it? Because I'm not familiar. Are you guys familiar with it?
Never heard of it.
A vegan supermarket would go a long way. We have a vegan supermarket in Brisbane, Green Edge. It's been going a few years now. Started by a friend of mine originally, Amanda Benham started that one. And they...
Are they 100% vegan?
What, Veggie Grill?
No, Green Edge.
Green Edge is 100% vegan, yes.
When I went there, it wasn't.
When did you go there? No, it's 100% vegan. It started by a man, and she's been a vegan longer than me. She's been vegan like over 40 years. She's a vegan nutritionist. Veggie Grill. Let's see. I'm just bringing up the Veggie Grill website to see what it is, where it is. Where is it?
Actually, I have seen that before.
Is it? Where is it? Hang on. Locations. Is it in Australia? Let's have a quick look at this. We're just going off a search by a zip code. Okay.
No, that's overseas.
That's definitely
America.
overseas. Yep, it's in 3 different American states there. And anyway, we can research. It's American. Don't know if it's vegan. Adam says, yeah. What is your?
I shall research that.
Hang on. What is your? Oh, it said it's chicken spelt differently. Okay, it's probably a fake chicken, I'd say.
Well, I can check that out in August. I'm going to the States.
Okay, you check it out and take some. Okay, so their chicken protein is made by Guardian. Okay, it's at least vegetarian, if not vegan. We will check that out later. Thanks for that, Adam. But the other one was Amy's. We were talking about a drive-through. The other one was Amy's. Let's see if I can find it. Amy's drive-through. I'll put and see if that comes up in my search there. Amy's drive-through, American fast food in a new American style. There it is there. That is veggie, vegan and gluten-free burgers. So that may not be 100% vegan, but
That's not vegan option.
a country's first 100% vegetarian drive-through.
Yeah,
Okay, so, and Alison, thank you for joining us all the way from New Zealand. I think you are, from memory. My correction, if my memory is right. Yeah. Okay, so what happened last week, I keep looking at the clock because what happened last week was I timed it so that I thought I had about 5 minutes left and then we cut out. So, and I'm going to have to make an estimate because it took us 4 attempts to get up and running tonight. So maybe that added about an extra 5 minutes to the starting time.
Oh, at least.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit more than that.
Yeah. I can't tell on my computer what time we actually started streaming. If somebody, it says here, hang on, 35 minutes. Let's just try it again. Yeah, let's see if that ups to 41 minutes. We've got about, I'm going to give it about another 10 minutes. Yeah, a bit after 9 on the clock we can go to, so that's fine. Okay. Right. So, where were we up to? We were talking about standardising menus.
Yep.
And making it more commonplace. You also want to work with businesses to educate them, don't you? So what's your strategy or your angle on that? How do you want to go about that?
Well, that's hopefully a lot of it can come from the community with the businesses finding out about the Big Business Network, and if they're curious, they come along and instead of looking up and trying to figure out what a vegan is online and forming their own opinions from what they've discovered online, is actually come along and actually join the community and get direct feedback from, what should they add to their menu, and actually just see that we're all really supportive of people adding vegan stuff.
Okay,
but
that's good.
It's more than that. We're actually offering business consulting.
Yeah.
To use an obvious example, is restaurants how to veganise their menu, the hygiene requirements to have a vegan menu, separation of utensils.
Yes. Yes.
And then away from restaurants is just building the vegan industry in this country. In all areas, and just vegan friendliness. Like the people that we work with don't have to be vegans, but they should at least have an element for vegans in their business because the community is growing and it's only going to get bigger, and we should live more sustainably, more ethically, more
well said.
With minimal impact, as we were saying before.
Well said. Yeah, definitely.
So,
well said. Yeah.
And you just need to cater to more dietary requirements these days.
Yes.
With all the people with different allergies.
And
that's it.
That's the thing that
somebody could have an egg allergy or whatever, and they've decided to just go vegan because it's easier. And they go somewhere and they order something vegan, and it's not.
Well, that's
me. It's not vegan.
Let's just qualify that. Go back a step. They might have, say, an egg allergy, something like that, and I would say, and they've decided to go plant-based because it's easier. They may not have embraced the whole vegan philosophy, right? So you've got the dietary side of it, and then you've got the actual understanding of not using animals in any form. So. But that brings up the point that they could go to a place, they could be lactose intolerant, they could have an allergy to something, and the place doesn't take them, the restaurant or whatever, doesn't take them seriously enough to think that it's a concern and serves them something that can trigger a reaction. Now, this is something Brooke tells us there's a bit of a delay at times. Are you describing my life in general or just this? But I've actually, years ago, I had anaphylactic shock, and that's a scary thing. If you've ever been through it, that's a scary thing where you can't breathe and you feel like you're going to die, and your throat closes and you are choking and you're in a terrible state.
10 minutes,
yes, and it seems like it goes on forever. And in my case, they called an ambulance. I was taken to hospital and all the rest. They did tests. They couldn't figure out what caused it. I put it down to having too much soy at the time. I'd gone from not having any soy to basically having a lot of soy products. I was having soy milk, soy cheese, soy yogurt, soy mayonnaise, and I was having a lot of it. I went soy crazy, and some of that's genetically modified. It's all processed. It's not like having a proper soybean product, So. And I could tell I was getting, before the anaphylactic shock, I could tell I was getting worse and worse. I was starting to feel sick for days on end. And
build-up.
In the build-up.
Yeah.
And the only reason I concluded in the end that that's what it was because that's what I was doing differently, and because I spoke to somebody else around the same time who said, I've been feeling sick lately, and he said, I think it's a soy, and he stopped eating the soy, and he said he started to feel better. So after I came out of hospital, I stopped eating the soy, felt better, and the only time I ever had a recurrence of that nearly happen again was when I started having soy products again. Yeah. Like too much soy products. So I can have some. So my point being, if I was slightly reactive to it, I mean, I think it took a lot of soy to do it, but if I was slightly reactive and went to a place and said, oh, look, I can't have soy, because I have a reaction to it, and the next thing I'm on the ground trying to breathe because they've given me soy, that's a serious situation.
Yes,
and,
very serious.
and that, from a legal perspective, means a business is actually up for somewhat public liability or something in that. Yeah. So, and this negligence. That's right. So this comes back to what we were talking about earlier about businesses need to be ethical and responsible in their advertising. If you're going to say 100%, and you know who I'm talking about, you're going to say 100% plant-based, and I walk in there and I see you saying 100% plant-based, it's actually quite possible I'm not even going to question the milk you're putting in your coffee, or in my coffee, because I'm going on you telling me that it's 100% plant-based, right? Now, if that's a lie, because it is a lie when you say it's 100% plant-based, but we just happen to have some animal product here, then that's not just an ethical dilemma. It's what was the word you used to describe it earlier? It's no, just a minute ago you said it was negligence. It's actually negligence. We are trying to do you a favour by making you aware that you have to be responsible in the way you present yourself as a business. You can't just say that you're 100% when you're not. So I know we've hammered this point a lot, but we need to hammer this point. You're 99% of the way there. You're still supporting the dairy industry, which is the meat industry, which supplies 700,000 male calves a year for veal. So, this is... I'm not going there if I know that that's what you're doing, okay? So just ditch the dairy, okay? Who are we talking about? I wonder.
I personally consider the dairy industry to be worse than the meat industry.
That's what I was about to say. That's very cognitive dissonance.
Well, it is. Exactly.
When you have your milk, you don't know that milk that you're consuming, that the cow that has produced that milk is still not suffering.
Yes.
And everything like that.
Yes.
Whereas when somebody sits down to a steak or something, the animal is like, it's all finished. Like, there's not suffering ongoing.
Yes.
So, in a way,
that's yes. Also, the other way is the way that it's pretty hard to deny that the meat industry has killed the animal that you're eating, whereas the dairy industry likes to promote itself as happy cows in pastures and all the rest. I'll come to your point in a minute, Colleen. In America, about a year or two ago, in California, the government sued the I can't remember if it sued the dairy industry, if it sued the meat industry. It sued, or both of them, because their advertising showed cows in green pastures grazing.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, and and in California, it's all barren, dry, it's desolate. They filmed that in New Zealand.
Wow.
They filmed it in New Zealand and then showed it in America as that's the way the cows are, So, no, amazing. The government actually did something about it. Amazing.
That's actually intent to deceive as well.
Intent to deceive. Well, who else do we know that? Anyway.
Let's get to Colleen's question.
Colleen, modern soya products are not great, but fermented soy products are healthier. Tofu, tempeh. Yes.
That's what I was going to say before, Colleen. Not all soy is equal. Like they say oils ain't oils, or soy isn't soy. Yeah. Some soy has been fermented more like tempeh, whereas other soy is just GMO garbage. You've really got to learn and get to know what products you're eating.
Yeah, and definitely when I had my reaction to it, I was having a lot of the processed, cheaper stuff, that's...
maybe have organic as well. This is something that I always bring up as well, is like...
organic, definitely.
Like going back to the vegans being very harsh and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like a vegan will like verbally abuse, say, a farmer that's living off the grid, growing organically, and like their cows are basically living out the whole life and everything, and then they and they're consuming commercially grown produce, which has had pesticides that's killed I don't know how many millions of insects.
Good point.
And the runoff is poisoning all the downstream ecosystem.
Yeah.
Not to mention processed foods in factories, which is
destroying. So that's an awareness that yes, we need to be aware on a lot of different levels then, don't we?
Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe we
Okay.
should just have
Compassion sounds like a great word. I think I'm going to start using that word. In fact, that sign behind me it says, except it's backwards, live with compassion. I'm actually trying. I think I've got it right there too.
Compassion with live.
Compassion with life. Now I'm actually going to wind this up now because we've been going for a bit over 50 minutes, and I'm not going to make the mistake that I make where we run out of time in the middle of a sentence. So, and I don't have anyone playing guitar tonight to do some end music. So what I'm going to say is, again, guys, if you want to know more about the Vegan Business Network, come along tomorrow night to Mandela's at 6 p.m. and Wade and Jazz will be there. Lee Chantel will be giving a talk. What was the name of the talk again?
Consistency and commitment in business and beyond.
Okay, and also Lee Chantel will be my guest next Tuesday night.
Remember to book for tomorrow, $20 or you can eat pizza.
Guys, Colleen says that the sign is not backwards. That's good. It's only the people sitting in front of it that are. It's sorry guys, I meant that. So Jamie just joined. Nice of you to join, Jamie. We're actually going to wind up now because we could probably now we've got in the swing of things. You're having fun, aren't you? Yeah. We could probably have gone longer, but that's good. I hope you guys will join me again sometime.
Yeah.
Yeah, good because it's been fun. So we'll have them back again, and Colleen will also. You'll be back on the show again soon, not in the rushed state that you were last week.
And I will meet you eventually, Colleen, because I want to talk to you about something.
You will meet her tomorrow night. She'll be along tomorrow night.
Yes, I'll meet you tomorrow night.
Okay, so that's good. And hey, Cesar, congratulations! I believe you've won a prize. So
she made it.
She made it. You've won a prize. You have won a dinner for two at the Greenhouse Canteen. So I used your other name when I mentioned it. So yes, but So congratulations. I'll be in touch to tell you how to claim that. And Colleen says yes about meeting you tomorrow night. So lots of hearts there. That's probably from Cesar. Okay. So thank you everyone for joining us. This live stream will be on my Facebook page to watch at any time. It'll also be going up on my YouTube channel, so you'll be able to watch it there. You can still ask questions afterwards and we'll attempt to answer them. You can still type questions into this video later on. And Cesar says thank you, and thank you for sharing. That's how you did it. And Mandela's dinner at Mandela's, or $50 food at Mandela's. Competition starts from tonight. Share this live stream as much as possible to get it. I think we're just about to run out of time. So thank you, Wade. Thank you, Jazz. It's been lots of fun. And thank you for the guys at home for your... it was light on the questions tonight, but it was easier to control. So all I can say is... hang on. There we go. That's it. Live vegan and prosper. This is Vegan Life, and we'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.